Hey man, how's it going?
Howdy doody.
No, I'm kidding. Not Lucy Liu. We couldn't get Lucy Liu. We have Oliver back. How's it going, my friend?
You kind of overshadowed me by ruining the Lucy Liu thing there. I'm less exciting.
Oh, do we actually have Lucy Liu?
No, she couldn't make it. She was working on some other project, unfortunately. It's the same as Beck. They're all busy. So
Yeah, we send tweets at them, email, snail mail, Facebook messaging. We don't know their phone number, but I've guessed about 5 times for Beck at least. I didn't get one back.
Yeah, Lucy
phone
Liu
book
was the
doesn't
same,
exist
so.
anymore.
But in any case, yes, welcome back, Oliver. It's wonderful to have you back. And welcome back, everyone, to Bite My Shiny Metal Cast, episode 15 of season 3. I dated a robot. All right, let's jump right into it. Our opening caption here: no humans were probed in the making of this episode. That's good to hear. We have our opening. This is one of my all-time favorite Futurama side gags. I'm not sure, Oliver, out of all the episodes, if you watched the show, I'm not sure if this is the first time you've seen this, but are you familiar with the scary door?
I'm not familiar with Scary Door.
Okay, so the scary door pops in and out of this show.
It's like the Twilight Zone from back in the not most recent Twilight Zone. And what's the Twilight Zone Netflix remake like Black Mirror?
Black Mirror, yeah.
So
right.
The Twilight Zone was made I don't know, this is a long time ago. I think it even had like a radio show back when radio was a thing. And it was like a hypothetical what if thing. And they just come up with fun little short stories of like weird world scenarios or something like that. And
exactly. That's kind of what the scary door kind of.
I love the scary door because it's so funny.
So funny.
I think I like the second one the best.
So it's the scary door, and as we've mentioned this before, because it's popped up at least one more time beforehand. But yes, we open through there. It's Maurice LaMarche playing basically like the voice that he always does for this kind of role. It sounds kind of like the Orson Welles things, like you're walking through a mirror and all this kind of stuff, right? So he has this. It's like you've now entered the scary door, and I really love this one. But this one is kind of a weird one because it's just a bunch of like reveals, as I kind of alluded to earlier in the beginning of our episode here. So saying like, oh, Lucy. No, I'm kidding. But this is the case. It's a bunch of reveals for this because I think all of these. And Oliver, did you ever watch the original Twilight Zone back in the day?
No, I've seen a few episodes of the original Twilight Zone, and I've seen some Black Mirror as well. Good stuff.
Okay, so when you watch this part, right? So we have let's meet a man who is like a notorious gambler, all this stuff, right? And so he gets an unfortunate accident. He gets hit by a car. Then he wakes up in a casino, and he's like, oh, a casino where I win or something. I must be in heaven. And then when he finds out that he keeps on winning, he must be in hell. It's all this thing over and over again. But it seems to go not just from like the winning, or not just from the winning of the casino, but then it's revealed that he's on an airplane, and then it's revealed that there's a gremlin on the plane wing, and then it's revealed that he's Hitler, and then it's revealed that Ava Braun is the Fly. So there's all these weird little reveals. So I'm just curious if we can go through what are these references to.
Well, the gremlin on the wing, that's an old like World War II thing, isn't it?
It's also a callback to The Simpsons too, because The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror had one episode with the gremlin on the bus.
Yep, but I think that was a reference to something else too, right? Because that was the reference to it.
Yeah.
What is that's like from that's from like a horror thing. That might actually be from an original Twilight Zone episode, if I'm not mistaken, or something of the sort.
I know it's not from the movie Gremlins.
No, it's definitely not.
No,
not
that's
from Gremlins.
Beautiful puppetry until the second one where it gets a little weird.
But then we also have so you got to believe me. There's a gremlin on the wing, and he says, "Why should I believe you? You're Hitler." That's definitely from the Twilight Zone, if I'm not mistaken. That's a reveal.
But I still find it hilarious when he goes like, "You gotta believe me." He's like, "Just look out the window, man. You don't have to be like, please, just believe me. Like, just look out the window."
Maybe the gremlin jumped off the wing.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then the Ava Braun becoming the Fly, I believe, is actually just from The Fly, if I'm not mistaken, like the actual movie The Fly, something like this.
Who's Ava Braun?
Did you guys ever watch the movie The Fly with Goldblum?
No.
It's his wife. It was Hitler's like wife, if I'm not mistaken. And The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. You never watched it? Yeah, it's very old movie, but yeah, it's a classic horror-esque genre. They've mixed, Simpsons has done it as well, obviously, but yeah, there's a lot of these mixing of like genetics, right? So Bart has one where they have like a teleporter, the little fly, and he mixed together into this teleporter, and the fly becomes like giant and is his head. and then he becomes like a little tiny fly flying around. That's like a parody of that, of the Fly. So this is also of that. So pretty funny. But in any case, I love this Scary Door episode because it's very, very revealing of all these things. So it's kind of alluding to the episode. But in any case, we're opened up to the crew who are watching this, and we have Fry come in all excited, and everybody's there, and he says like, "Oh, there's got to be some kind of cool thing out there or whatever." And it turns out that it's just some nonchalant thing that everybody is very familiar with in the future. So Fry digs at them saying like, why are you guys so boring? Like, why aren't we doing everything I want to do? Because like we're in the year 3000 or so, the distant future for me. We should be doing something fun. And so they all like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should take the morning off, and we can go and do everything that Fry kind of suggested or whatever. And there's a little joke about you can't do anything with Leela.
Yeah, we'll take them to do everything except that.
Except that, exactly. So the first thing that we get to see, we get a cameo of Sal. And what's the first thing they're doing here, Mitch?
Shooting a planet.
Good. Yes. Destroying a planet, right? Yeah.
And become a Death Star myself rather than just shoot a gun. But I do like Fry's little thing is like, yeah, what'd they ever do for me? So I'm gonna blow it up.
Right. Fry likes to destroy things a lot. There's another episode where he destroys like a lot of priceless art when he's a billionaire. So he shoots it in the sky or whatever. So that's that one. And then Ollie, what's the next one after that?
I think that one is the Edge of the Universe.
The Edge of the Universe.
Yes, the Edge of the Universe, where they're all wearing cowboy hats and cowboy things.
Like some parallel universes.
That's right. I guess that's enough. Right. So we see them with the parallel universe. I like how they go to like the literal edge of the universe, right? And there's like a little
brick wall. That's one of my favorite things. There's a brick wall, just a lovely brick wall.
I like the binoculars. Like
coin
or whatever.
Insert the 25 cents or whatever it is for.
So they can see each other across the parallel universes. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh, I like that Bender gets mad and jealous about his like the guy who has the cowboy hat.
Yes. Oh man. So. Yes, they decide to leave there after it reveals it's only the two parallel universes, which we do find out in the future. Actually, that's not necessarily true, or at least towards Farnsworth's situation. So
it's a different situation compared to another universe next to another universe.
Sure. So we have then Fry and them go to ride a T-Rex, and honestly, to tell you the truth, this looks kind of fun, even though it's a kiddie ride.
It's something that I think I'd like to do, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I was actually just going to ask this. So out of all these three, before we get into the main one, for you guys, what was your top choice for the things that Fry got to do? Like I was pretty much set on like riding a T-Rex. As much as seeing a parallel universe and blowing up a planet are pretty cool. Come on, riding a T-Rex.
I think I'd have way too many questions for the parallel universe. Like what's the difference? Is it only cowboy outfits? Do they all make the same decision?
You can't talk to them.
You can wave. You can obviously make a sign with a whiteboard. What is the difference between you and me besides a cowboy hat? And would they be disappointed too? It's like, oh, they don't have cowboy hats? Oh.
But they wouldn't know the difference either, because to them, you're the parallel universe, right? So there would be another Mitchell. There'd be another Mitchell with a parallel hat or with a cowboy hat in the parallel universe holding up the exact same sign.
Well, I would ask if I could ask him what's it like to wear cowboy boots, because my feet are not the same shape as cowboy boots, and cowboy boots aren't made for people like me.
Fair enough. How about you, Ollie? What's your thought then?
I mean, if we're talking pure fun, I'm blowing up a planet.
Okay. I was thinking that for sure.
I'm going with the T-Rex like you, Anthony.
Do we get to pick what planet we blow up? Because if we do, Pluto's going down.
Pluto's not a planet anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say by technicality, you're not allowed to blow up the.
So it's just an asteroid.
I'll blow up the Plutoid or the Kuiper Belt.
But
whatever.
Ollie, that's where we keep all the penguins.
From another
penguin.
Yeah, we did an episode with Tristan, and then that one happens to be about penguins being shipped off to Pluto, and that's where they're all there for that. So
also killer whales for some reason.
Yeah, and a lot of fish. A lot of marine, and a lot of
it's
animals.
they're
all animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in any case, Fry wants to give this T-Rex a treat, and I thought this was really, really sad. But whatever the case,
I think it's hilarious.
It is funny. It's supposed to be a joke, obviously. I just feel bad for the pig, but he has like one of those gumball machine kind of things, right? And it's a pig one. So the pig comes out, little piggy, and he holds it up, and then the T-Rex comes over and eats the pig. But doing so, because Fry doesn't know how to feed a T-Rex, he gets his hands bitten off. So there's this little joke about them going to hands crafters, I believe it is, instead of lens crafters, hands crafters. So he gets new hands. The first time Fry ever gets new hands, by the way, I want to keep this in mind.
Yeah.
So the last things he wants to do is either he wants to get, what was it? He wants to be
Data
celebrity, but also locked in a chocolate factory or something.
Be invisible in a chocolate
factory. Thank you. Be invisible in a chocolate factory and be romantically involved with a celebrity, right? So nothing really comes of the chocolate factory one, but Leela does say that, there is a way that you can actually be romantically involved with a celebrity, and they bring him to a place, they bring him back to the HQ, and they decide to go into the internet. So this is also the second time that we've actually seen them kind of go into the internet for something in the past, and just Fry and Leela enter. I thought this is wonderful. It's always great to have like this virtual reality go into this, and the first joke we see here is people breaking into the Pentagon. I always thought
that
was
a thing at the time.
I think it, because you know what, it may have been actually.
I also feel like the Napster thing is a little dated because
that's incredibly dated. Yeah. Napster. Nobody would know what Napster is.
Even then, I think that might have been dated, wasn't it? Or when was Napster an actual thing?
Napster's like 10 years before Futurama, I'm pretty sure. I think it's a dated reference because it's like Fry from his year.
Right, it kind of knows that, right? I think people were still using it up to a certain point, and that it was still very well known because that was the way to download the music.
Yeah, I just looked at it. It launched in 1999, and the final release was in 2002. So it was around for a little while.
Yeah. Well, it was right around this time that the episode had come out anyway, right? I think it was like 2002 or something. So it was right around the time of the end of Napster.
2001.
So it was very, very much in the zeitgeist of people's lives.
Okay.
But the Pentagon one, Ollie, do you know of the Pentagon being broken into? I know this happened. I don't know if it was really, yeah.
I'm sure there was like some because this is around this is just post Y2K kind of stuff. But I think it's also I don't know if they're kind of making a bit of a joke about Watergate, but I think Watergate's a separate place, right? That's not the Pentagon.
That's right. That's a hotel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know what's happening there.
Sure. Well, the Watergate actually is referenced in a Futurama episode, but that's like quite a ways back. So that's like in the second season. But okay. I think it is like just people are constantly hacking it, and maybe it was famous for not having very good like cybersecurity. Maybe that's what it was. But whatever the case, we have this. We also have a walk
thing at that point.
Yeah, we also have a walk by of this is kind of an interesting one. The Star Trek debate that's going on. There's like new Trek versus old Trek, which is also a very, very dated reference considering how much Star Trek there is now. But these ones are obviously with the original series and the Next Generation.
We call it the good stuff and the bad stuff, and there hasn't been good stuff in a while.
Yeah. So this one they're talking about, I think they're debating between like who's a better captain or something between Picard and
Shatner.
Kirk. So yeah. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Anyways, last thing we kind of see before they get to what they need to do is that apparently the Milky Way galaxy is now owned by the Inconceivable Horror, which we've never seen again. Yeah, through eBay, they're able to sell the Milky Way galaxy, but Inconceivable Horror now owns the Milky Way galaxy. So make that what you will. So yes, they decide to they're looking for Napster. Napster being in this case the place where we can download celebrities onto blank robots and essentially date them. So choosing the celebrity, they go there and Fry asks for a Lucy Liu bot, or a Lucy Liu person, I suppose, Lucy Liu. And the guy says, yep, sure, we have Lucy Liu, so here you go. And they get out of there. And there is a joke, of course, about Lucy Liu being like one of the sexiest women, voted twice being the sexiest woman, apparently in 2003 and then 2063. I sincerely hope that if she's still around by 2063, I really hope that they do something like that. I think that'd be kind of funny. Just as a small reference to an episode of Futurama.
She was born in 1968, so she'd be
in her 90s.
93 years old at that point.
Good luck, Lucy. Good luck.
She looks great right now for being 55, so let's add another 40 years to her. I don't I don't see a 90-year-old making that. I'm sorry.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see, though. We'll
If
see.
not for me, do it for Futurama.
Yes, exactly.
So yes, they go to this, and he asks for the 2003 edition, obviously, because this is what we're taking in. So they download Lucy Liu and the robot there, and Fry is super happy, very, very happy about this. And the Fry robot seems very good. She acts like Lucy Liu, sounds like Lucy Liu. She has a little bit of a computerized thing, so I guess she can take in this AI. Like whenever someone speaks to them, they will take in a little bit of what they've talked about and repeat it back, but it sounds very robotic. And I think that's actually pretty well voice acted by Lucy Liu. I thought that was really good.
There's some audio effects on her.
Yes. But yeah, they decide to go. They go on a date, do all this kind of stuff. Like I think they went to the bar or something, and then of course there's this fun little montage of them. So they go to like an aquarium, give him a piggyback ride. He's playing with toy soldiers. It's great. So, what are your thoughts on the Lucy Liu bot being a thing?
I think it's really funny that he actually chose Lucy Liu because it's a very oddly specific choice. Because like she was, I can't remember anything else besides Charlie's Angels and Kill Bill that she was in during that time.
Right, Kill Bill.
Like, yeah, it's like I remember her more from Kill Bill, I think.
Right.
Around this time, she was in an episode of Sex and the City. She was on Saturday Night Live, Mad TV as a host. Ally McBeal, she had
she was a recurring role.
I was going
to save this for a little bit later, but like when we get to the part where they're making the Liu bots and he turns the dial, all those dials that are referenced to Lucy Liu's, that's Lucy Liu's like career essentially, right? So the first one is the Ally McBeal one, which is like competent lawyer or something. That's Ally McBeal's.
Kill Bill hadn't come out by this point yet.
Oh.
And Charlie's Angels 2 hasn't come out by this point. They might have been filming those things.
They may have been talking about it, yeah. So,
but
right.
I don't think they would have had the same amount of pop culture reference that they do nowadays if you were to put her in something. She was in Shanghai Noon with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson in the cowboy world.
Sure. I mean, if you want anything recently that Lucy Liu was in, like in the past 10 years, that was like Elementary with Johnny Lee Miller, and that was like the Sherlock Holmes one that was taking place in New York. But I digress. It was a TV show, yeah. So I digress. Yeah, they're doing all these fun things and stuff. So it comes back to the Planet Express, and I think arguably, I think this was one of my favorite scenes. We can talk about it at the end of the episode, but one of my favorite scenes. So he and the Liu bot are having this like, oh, you're cute. No, you're cute. No, you're cute. Like this lovey-dovey thing. And it turns out that Lucy Liu is trapped in a, loop, as computers tend to do. And Fry doesn't realize, so he's just dumb and just keeps on repeating what she's saying, which the professor calls out. So I thought that was pretty good. So they're doing this, and the others are watching them, and they all tell him like, oh, it's probably not good to date a robot. We should probably tell him this, right? And they decide to interfere with this relationship. Fry seems to be kind of having this, I don't know, what would you call it? Is it kind of not very healthy, right? It's like an unhealthy relationship.
Unhealthy non-real relationship, which is a thing that could occur any day now. There's people already dating AI girlfriends, and that's freaky enough to say out loud right now. But with the cartoon here, it's funny because it's an actual robot. But now it's just
20 years prior.
Yeah, 20 years prior.
Well, and I was going to say that maybe they should be showing the crew, what the crew show, the Fry, right? What the Planet Express show, Fry. I dated a robot, hence the name of the title of the episode. But it is about the dangers of dating a robot and not being in a actual relationship with somebody else, right?
Population collapse happening, guys.
So yeah, Ollie, can you run us through this like I dated a robot thing? Like this is basically a after school special type of movie, right? Like what is this?
I think it's funny because like they try and I think the joke is that they try and make it look so awful, but they just end up making it look really awesome. It's like the classic marijuana kills ads where it's just like this just makes drugs look great.
Sure.
So I think like now they take that joke and I think they just flip it a little bit, but yeah, I think it was clever.
Sure. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that. They'd make like dating a robot seem better because he doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be like, he's always having pleasure.
Hey, Billy, do you want to come over to my house and make out? I don't know, man. Like, going over to your house, it's awfully far across the street. I'd rather stay here and make out with my robot.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, do you want to go work a paper route and earn some money? Nah.
No, thanks, Dad. I want to
stay here.
Make out with my robot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just this whole thing. So, and this is also the narrator of this episode or of I Dated a Robot is of course played by Billy West, who I now know for sure to be Billy West, who's Fry, the Professor Zoidberg, and his whole thing like, did you guess what planet this was on? It was Earth, right?
Makes you think. We see this guy 4 times. He doesn't have a name. He's called Educational Films Man.
There you go.
That's his name. Yeah.
The film guy. Okay,
yeah,
I'll remember that. I just call him the narrator.
We saw him in the first season with the big piece of garbage when he narrates
that's right. Yeah.
Garbage. Yeah.
Sure, that's right. So
once and for all.
So they show him this, but Fry has basically no effect on it. It's actually kind of the opposite. He doesn't really pay attention. So there's also
busy making out with Lucy Liu.
With the Liu bot, right? So there's also another thing here, and I'm not sure if you would recognize this, Ollie. So if you saw the pilot episode of the show of Futurama, when Fry's frozen, and then we see like the past is like speeding by, and there's times when it kind of goes back to normal present time, and then we see like the buildings being destroyed. It's interesting because these buildings are being destroyed by flying saucers, and it happens a couple of times. Now, in the future of the show and in the movies, we learn that these flying saucers are actually part of something that's part of the plot of this. Yeah. Now, here, though, we see that they're using those exact same flying saucers. And, of course, this could be – Mitchell and I would discuss this before. They could just use the same models. But basically –
character sheet, model sheets, yeah.
Exactly. And so all this stuff. So I'm curious, what do you guys think of this situation? So they show that these flying saucers destroyed Earth, basically. I'm wondering, is this part of actual history of like the Futurama universe that they're showing in their video? Thus, they're trying to like scare kids into not dating robots. Because like, oh, this could happen again. Aliens could come by and there'd be nobody to protect us kind of thing. Is that what's kind of going on? Or am I'm overthinking it?
I'm going to use my sticky note here and hold it up, and you're going to read it out loud.
Suspension of disbelief?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think it's just model? Just
you know what? I do like that theory, Anthony, but the thing is, somehow they've made the past between year 2000 to year 3000 very weird, because at one point Disenchanted is an actual part of the world, which we know is hundreds of years old.
I think that's just an Easter egg. I don't think that's actually true. But that's a suspension of disbelief one. Yes. But fair enough. Okay. And how about you, Ollie? Not having seen maybe most of this stuff, just seeing it on a point of view like that. Do you think that's possible?
It doesn't really look like canon, because I don't know if there's anybody left over at the end to kind of make things happen. I guess it could have been. Mm-hmm. Remember, because like they kind of show the world getting destroyed in other episodes, don't they?
They do, yeah. Multiple episodes, actually. Yeah. Somehow it always comes back. Mind you, it's 1,000 years, right? So it's just like civilization after civilization. It just goes to show that this one particular incident happens within like the span of a few years, I guess, because Bender's living there. Bender's the one that does this. But it's kind of weird that they would see these spaceships again. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because if anybody didn't notice, those are indeed the same ships that destroy Earth or parts of Earth, while Fry is indeed frozen for those 1,000 years. So it's interesting to see that they're using their heritage and their history to try and scare these kids. But yeah, just one of those things.
Well, so people tend to ignore the past anyways. So, bringing it up to people who haven't studied it, they don't care as much as people who do study it.
Sure. So we finish off this with the Space Pope, and we learn that the Space Pope is indeed reptilian. So I thought that's always nice to see. And yeah, no impression on Fry. Everybody is like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? This is crazy. So we cut to Bender, and he is. I actually had to look this up because I've seen it before, but I couldn't remember exactly. Do you guys know what show this is from?
No, not ringing a bell.
Dismissed and threatening him.
Yeah, that would have been from the same show. Do you remember the show? Around that time, I should say. So it's a show from All in the Family. The show is called All in the Family, and the character that he's mimicking is called Archie Bunker.
Oh.
That sounds familiar, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
So yeah, I knew it wouldn't be like this. Yeah, like he's like speaking the way he's speaking
Who's
and
the
sitting the way
actor?
he's sitting and everything. The actor, oh, I don't know. He's been dead a long time. I can't remember what it is, but the character was Archie Bunker. But Bender is parodying that, and then Leela is like talking with him. So in any case, Bender is not okay with the Fry and Lou bot relationship. He thinks that, which is strange, of course, for the later of this episode, but also in the future of the series. But he's not okay with robot human relationships, at least not like this. So Leela actually does agree with Bender, and so they decide that they're going to try and stop Napster. So they end up going to the Napster's headquarters, and Bender breaks in, and with I think it's also with Zoidberg. So Leela, Zoidberg, and Bender are there. He threatens the CEO. The CEO says like, "Oh no, this is the defense of like the internet, and like we're allowed to do this kind of stuff. Like this is our right." And then they hear screaming, like somebody yelling for help, right? And so they all perk up, and it's kind of strange. And so the CEO tries to block their way through, like there's a door to the side, and there's a sign above the door that says Napster with an obvious sign that kind of is over it, over the edge. And it falls off. Yeah, kind of like their logo, and it falls off, revealing Kid. So it's actually, for whatever reason, they called their company Kid Napster. And then they realized, like, oh, that's probably illegal. So they covered the Kid and just called it Napster, thus reusing the name from 1,000 years prior, like nobody would ever notice. That's what my headcanon is. But funny little joke, I'm sure. So in any case, Leela, Bender, and Zoidberg enter into there, and the CEO tries to stop them, but they lock themselves in. And it reveals that Kid Napster is actually kidnapping celebrities' heads, like older celebrities' heads, and they are being downloaded illegally from people who want to download them onto these bots. And so, yeah, I saw a few people here. Did you guys notice some of the actors that they had in their room? What did you see there, Oliver?
I got George Michael.
George Michael. Yeah, can you take? What does he say? He's like, can you go before you go, or take me before you go, or something like that.
Yeah. There's also Harrison Ford in there, and there's also Madame Albright.
Madeleine Albright. Yeah. So
I think Nicole Kidman's in there too.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman's in there. Pamela Anderson's in there. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Cheech Marin. Those are the ones I saw. Madeleine Albright.
Madeleine Albright from?
She's not an actress.
She's an actual person of history.
They're all people of history, but Madeleine Albright is from the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. She served, I believe, as Secretary of State or something. She worked under like the Democratic Party.
A few years ago.
She did. She passed away in 2022. Yeah. So she was a very important person for a lot of like diplomatic things and a lot of things with the United States government and everything. She was a very high-ranking person. So I guess she's just there. They found her and they brought her in or something. So
was that actually her voice?
Right. No. I think it's Tress MacNeille. No, I don't think they actually had her for it. That would have been pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Probably.
Especially during that
Tress
time.
MacNeille,
yeah. So, in any case, Lucy Liu, the actual Lucy Liu, who's obviously in there, she's the one that was calling for help. She asks to be taken or saved, and so they take her because there's only room for one and whatever, and they're about to break down the door. So they only have time to rescue one. They take Lucy Liu and they replace Lucy Liu's head with Madeleine Albright, which is a pretty good joke actually. I like that. And then they escape with her. So as the four of them leave Napster, the CEO is complaining to the CFO that they stole her head, they're going to ruin us and all this kind of stuff. There's nothing we can do. So the CFO decides, okay, we're going to use this backup disk and we're going to send a whole bunch of these Lucy Liu robots, and we're going to have them like they can have all the Lucy Liu they want essentially. And he turns on the dial. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. So the first one I believe is like competent lawyer. Then it's icy dominatrix or something, and then it's erotic assassin. Assassin, I'm guessing is I actually don't know, because if you say that, so did Kill Bill came out after that? Came out after this show?
Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2 came out in 2003/4, I think it was.
Okay. So if it wasn't there, I actually don't know what this is related to in terms of assassin. I know competent lawyer, I believe, is Ally McBeal. Icy dominatrix could be something to do with Charlie's Angels, and then erotic assassin. Maybe it was being talked about that she was going to be an assassin in Kill Bill. But whatever the case, that's the one they turned to. Yeah. And the Lou bots are all going to be erotic assassins. And there's like hundreds of them. So they move on. Lucy thanks them for saving them, and she actually kind of hits on Bender a bit, which Bender at first is very much like, nope, not having any of this. And they see another Lucy Liu bot, which they then proceed to fight because that one's trying to kill them. And they do beat her with just a fire hydrant. They blow her up with some water, and more Lucy Liu bots show up, and we get a whole bunch of this carnage going on. So yeah, your guys' thoughts. What is this? What would you do in this situation? Like what is going on with like all these robots and attacking? What would you do in this situation?
Run.
Just run, yeah. Not fight them.
Well, trip one of you two and then run.
You, Ollie, the same thing?
I'm pretty sure that you don't stand a chance against one Lucy Liu, so if you got like
the real one,
Lucy Liu's, you're done. Game over,
you're
man.
Real Lucy Liu, right? Not the robot.
I don't know. She's 55 right now, and I don't think she's all that tall. I'm probably a foot taller than her, so.
Okay, no,
and
but we're talking prime Lucy Liu, though. We're talking 2003 prime Lucy Liu.
I'm probably still outweigh her by 100 pounds, though, so.
Yeah, but she's fast.
Fast, agile.
She's got to get close somehow.
Those legs, man, they could probably do something. So whatever the case, yeah, I'd probably try my best to run away from these. But you're right, this is going to be very hard against an army of like extra strength Lucy Liu robots, right? All turned to erotic assassins. And we also get a nice little cameo of Zap Brannigan. So he's always a pleasure to see in this. We then cut to a cinema, right, to the theater. And here we're introduced to, so we were talking about this a little bit earlier, was as quoted on the screen, 2007 classic, Charlie's Angels 3, The Legends of Charlie's Gold.
Which is a reference to City Slickers 2, Curly's Gold. Are you guys big City Slickers fans?
No, can't say I am, but...
Oh, I love the first one.
That's funny. That's a reference to that. Okay, interesting. And then obviously also to Charlie's Angels 1 and 2, but yeah. So we have Charlie's Angels 3, and it turns out that this movie is being watched by Fry and his Lubot, right, who's acting very normal. And they both like the movie, or at least Fry likes the movie because it doesn't have just explosions, but also has vampires. And we even get this little thing with the screen being shown. It's like a clip from the movie, and it happens to be Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore's character, and Cameron Diaz's character all in there. So I kind of like that they drew them in as well. I wish that they had got their voice actors for this scene, but obviously that would have been a little too much, I'm sure. So yeah, they have the other four then show up, this being Bender, Leland, Zoidberg, as well as the real Lucy Liu. And they show up in the same theater to hide, and it turns out that they've run into Fry and his Lubot. So as they're there, the Lubots attack the cinema. Everybody's running away, freaking out. They're trying to kill these guys because they're the ones with the real Lucy Liu. I did like one of them just always attacks Zoidberg.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's
Zoidberg
exactly how it would go if it was attacking us. She'd hit me with a chair.
But it's only Zoidberg. Like she like beats him like multiple times. So and then he's like limping as he gets away. So anyway, they escape into the projector room of the cinema, and the Lubots are trying to make a human pyramid, and they're going to climb up and basically kill them. So Zoidberg finds some popcorn, which are just like the kernels.
Hooray!
And they blow up they cut open the bag. The kernels come down and kind of knock them down because there's so many of them, so many kernels.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 pounds of kernels or something like that.
But then the Lubots take them in and start shooting them out as if they're bullets. So the kernels are like destroying things all over the place inside the projector room.
10,000 pounds, I mean. So that's a lot of kernels.
That is a lot of kernels.
Like a silo of kernels.
So Fry's Lubot and he have this nice little moment about how they care about each other. A little bit of a joke there, but they care about each other. Lubot stands up, grabs the projector itself because it's light and heat, points it down, and basically pops the kernels, thus exploding all the Lubots below that are trying to kill them. And she suffers some major damages because she kept on getting hit by these regular kernels that they were shooting from their mouths there. So everyone is saved by this Lucy Liu, and Fry is asked by the real Lucy Liu to erase her because she's the last copy. Fry says a goodbye. He says he erases her. And then there's this fun little thing about him being like, okay, maybe I can meet the real Lucy Liu now. But it turns out she and Bender have fallen in love. And we leave the episode with Fry being incredibly jealous and angry at Bender for basically being a hypocrite and being Bender, because this is exactly what he would do.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And yeah, that's I Dated a Robot. So yeah, overall, I think this is a very good movie or a very good episode, and great for the time, I think, too, because this was the finale of this show when this show was running at the time. So this is the end of the season 3. So yeah, Oliver, as someone who you were here with us for the first episode of the season, and then you were here for the last episode of the season, and of course, like the bookends of this, having seen these 2 episodes, I don't know if you had seen any other ones in between. What are your thoughts between, like, did you notice like character development, or is there anything, or is it too small for only like 22-minute episode kind of thing?
No, I think I think both episodes I watched were just like reference heavy. And this one has like draws on a lot of other movies like Terminator, and then also obviously Charlie's Angels, and then even some.
I think that was a big one.
Yeah, obviously Charlie's Angels is a huge one.
Yes, I think she also makes a joke about like Crouching Tiger and Hidden Dragon in there too, right? So yeah.
Oh, was she in that?
No, that was Michelle Yeoh, but she just says the line in the episode when they're all attacking people, right? That's right. Yeah, actually, I didn't really realize they are kind of like heavy reference. Yeah, they're film reference heavy, aren't they? Yeah, a little bit. But you know film, so you would know these kinds of things, right?
Well, I appreciated like. I always forget that Charlie's Angels was such a thing at the time too. I must have watched it like 20 times, but it's still like it's got Bill Murray in it. It's got Chad
as Bosley or something. He's Bosley, isn't he?
Bosley. Yeah. And I don't think I ever actually watched the original Charlie's Angel, because that's the one with like like Farrah Fawcett and stuff, right?
That's right. Yeah. No, I never watched the original show myself. I did watch both Charlie's Angels back when they first came out, I guess, but yeah,
that's the other one. It's Full Throttle is the
Full Throttle,
one, right?
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Charlie's Angels, Full Throttle, Charlie's Angels, Legends of Charlie's Gold. That's what I always tell everybody is my favorite episode. My favorite movie is Charlie's Angels 3. But no, that's fair. That's fair. And how about you, Mitchell? Overall, this episode as the finale.
I don't know. I've watched this like 4 times in the last few days trying to do the title card, and I just
sure.
I don't know. Just this one didn't hit for me very well. Like, it wasn't terrible by any means, but it wasn't very good in my opinion. Just it didn't stand out to me, I guess is the best way to say it. It's not terrible, but it didn't make a lasting note for me.
Sure. Yeah.
At the beginning part with when Fry goes around doing what he wants to do, edge of the universe, riding a dinosaur, blowing up a planet, that stuff was cool. But the Lucy Liu stuff, it feels like it was a very highly referencing, and I don't know Lucy Liu that well. I know that she's done a lot of voice acting, looking at her credentials and stuff like that. She was in all the Kung Fu Panda movies except the recent one, which is good for her because it wasn't that good. And she was also, I think you would like this, she was also the adult version of Jade in Jackie Chan Adventures.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which
she has a lot of voice acting behind her. And I think actually that episode you just referenced with Jackie Chan, I'm pretty sure was around this time too.
No, that was 2004 or 5 when I looked it up.
Oh, okay, around this time. That's like a couple years, right? Like
give or take 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it's like quite close to that time, right? Like we're 20 years ahead of this at that point, right? So but yeah, no, fair enough. Like I've always been a fan of Lucy Liu to the extent of like I know her work to the extent of, you know, some of the movies such as Charlie's Angels and all this kind of stuff. I knew the Ally McBeal thing because I had family that watched it, so I knew that she was in this. But like, yeah, I mean, what I loved about this episode, I guess we'll go into like our favorite jokes and scenes and everything. What I love about this episode is actually, so the Lubot, every time like when she's like talking to Fry, she's like, oh, it's so good how you remember 2 things. Like I love that robotic thing to it. I love that robotic voice.
I think my favorite robotic one is, would you like to register me? No, later.
Yes.
Like, so what do you want to do, Lubot? Do you have time to register me?
I said later.
Because that was a big thing at the time. It was
the computer stuff, right?
Yeah. I remember that, like, register this thing. It's like, no, I don't want to register this.
I also love. I mean, as sad as it is, I also love the last one with it, or last scene of it. She's like, I'll always remember you. Memory deleted. And then she like disappears. I thought that was probably one of my favorite lines, actually. All right, and you, Ollie, what's your thought on the episode? Your favorite joke, favorite scene, MVP?
I think favorite joke was like, let's search the web.
Oh yeah, just stairs.
Look around for stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good puns in it, and I do like I think it's a nostalgic one, obviously, to watch it now too. and that all of the backup for her is on like a floppy disk, and they have
Right.
eBay
Yeah.
and like all the other things in it. So I like it when they jumped into the internet.
Yes, that retro futuristic feel. Sure. Yep.
Yeah. Favorite character? I mean, Lucy Liu.
Lou, cool. Yep. Lucy Liu's funny in this, man. A lot of the guest stars are always very funny in
Madeline
this.
Albright was a close second.
Sure. All right. How about you, Mitch? Your MVP favorite scene?
Zoidberg was my favorite one because when I was
It's
when I
because
was in
he got beaten
animation
up by the
school-
chair.
No, it was the life was bad, but now it's good forever. Yay!
Oh.
And then that's when they woke up as that I think when he's like, ooh, hooray! There's a lot of popcorn. You can open it, yeah, but don't eat it.
Can't eat it. Oh, sure.
I think that was my favorite. Just again, it's not a very memorable episode for me, so I like the Zoidberg moments.
No, fair enough. You know what? I'm also gonna say Lucy Liu, but I actually was gonna go with like Lucy Liu Bot, like the robot, Fry's robot. So I'm gonna go with the Liu Bot. Just for what I said, I think everything she says. I do like the. Would you like time to register me later? Like I do like that. I think that's pretty funny.
I did like that because that's a very thing of his time. But nowadays it's like we need your credit card information. It's like,
sure.
You said it was free. Why do you need my credit card information?
Just got to prove that you have money that we won't take.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, no, I'm good.
Wonderful. All right, great. Well, thanks again, everybody. And yeah, thanks again, Ollie, for joining us. It was wonderful to have you here. Anything more to say about I Dated a Robot? Anything that stood out to you?
I think it's just, I love reference heavy things. I'd love to see another one with Drew Barrymore and one with Cameron Diaz.
What they did, yeah.
I don't know if we could do. I don't think either of them ever guest star, but we'll let you know in the future if we ever find another one with it.
I think Cameron Diaz is retired from acting. Although I heard rumors that there's going to be another Shrek movie and she's going to reprise a role for that.
That's confirmed. Oh,
never mind. So she's not retired. She was, but now she's not.
Yep. No, everybody will come back for that one. Okay, great. And thanks again for joining us, man. It was always, and thank you so much for bookending this. It's wonderful to have you jump in and do these episodes here with us. So next time we'll let you know. And of course, Mitchell, wonderful to have you back as well, obviously, every time. So we're going to finish off here and we'll take a little bit of a break. So Mitchell and I will still be doing small reviews of the new season that's just started.
Yeah, season 12, quotes.
Quote unquote, yes.
Because it's only actually season 8 or something like that, but movies.
Yeah, and we already put out a review for the One Amigo, which was on which came out last week, I guess. So be sure to check that out on YouTube. And then, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one. So toodaloo, everyone. Have a good one.
Toodaloo.
Goodbye. We'll see you soon.